All right, well, I'll just start and say the preparation for this game in the home-and-home series we did really started with amazing respect, for Tommy Lloyd and the Arizona basketball program. I mean, the environment tonight to get tested this early in the season on the road, I find incredible value in it. I think these guys would say the same after tonight. I've known Tommy for a long time, and to be able to out-rebound a Tommy Lloyd basketball team at Arizona, I think is a credit to these guys and the fight that they had, because they've been consistently as good as anybody in the country. I mean, consistently, and I expect that same thing this year. So for us to come in here and to hold them to 55 points, out-rebound them by 13, did a good job keeping them off the foul line. To me, those were the keys, and it really started with the amazing character of the guys next to me, the connectivity of our team to be able to bounce back after a tough loss and to come back home and then to move on. We talk about just one game at a time. You have to move on, next play mentality, and we've had that. So, look, incredibly proud, ton of respect for them, for Tommy, their whole team, and really proud of the win tonight.
There were, some things thrown at some point from the stands and really intense crowd. What does it say about your team, that they had the maturity to withstand this road environment?
Well, we talk about, energy is neutral, and it's like when you're playing at home or playing. Do we not talk about that?
Oh, we do. No,
all right, you looked at me like I was crazy, I think. No, but I didn't even see that, first of all. I thought the environment and atmosphere was top notch. I mean, people respectful. I mean, I thought it was just a big time college basketball crowd. But end of the day, the crowd doesn't control how you defend, how you sprint back on defense, how you take care of the ball. And I thought there were a couple of stretches, the beginning of the second half, late when I think it got cut to 8. I'm not positive. But to have the maturity to answer and then come back on defense, I think that's a credit to these guys. We've done a lot of game situations this year in preseason, but it's really the maturity by them.
Tyrese, what helped you guys get through that when they cut it down to, I think it was 6 points?
Kentucky. I think Kentucky was a really good test. And, coming out of halftime in this game, we talked about Kentucky and, we huddled before we went back out and we just said we have to have a better start than we did back then. And, I mean, we came out a little shaky, but, we stayed together and I think everyone just, came as one and, we didn't separate and we trusted our work, like Coach said, and we knew we could pull it through.
On your footing in the second half, this was obviously a game and a stage unlike anything you'd ever experienced, so did you have a little bit of kind of finding your bearings there in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the first half? Obviously hit a groove after the break.
Yeah, I don't really know what I would call it. I mean, I think in the first half I was a little bit soft in some of my finishes. I mean, it was a high-level college basketball game, like Coach said. It's really physical. They're a very physical team. So I think I kind of, I guess, like you said, found my footing and kind of played off 2 feet a little bit better and just used some shot fakes. Was able to just play a little stronger down low.
You mentioned a couple of times throughout the course of the preseason you thought this team had the makings of an elite defensive group. You hold them under 40% shooting, 26% from 3, 55 points, one of the fewest points of the Lloyd era. How close is this team? What did you say that was most encouraging in terms of getting them towards that elite defense you saw?
Well, it helps when you have individual defenders to begin with. And the 3 guys next to me, anybody that's playing for us, I mean, our team it's a roster of guys that can guard the ball, good positional size. We're able to switch a lot. Like the job Tyrese did, look, Love's a big-time player, but Tyrese is, as good of a defender on the perimeter. And he's a pest. He's so disciplined with what he does. I thought there was big time, and then the versatility of these 2 guys. They can really guard all 3 of these guys. They're going 1 through 4, and then you have a fastball and a splinter with Kaman and with Malik. You can guess who's the fastball and you can guess who's the splinter. All right, but they're both so unique with what they do on the defensive end. Malik with his pressure, and then Kaman with his. You guys are looking at me like I'm crazy now. Cooper was looking at me like I'm crazy, and now, but they are. And Kaman's rim protection, he really just changes the game when he's out there. And to play that physical with just turning 18 is he's years ahead with that. He really is.
Coach, on the positional side, Last point, Sion coming in with that pass from Malik, kind of breaking that scoring drought.
Right.
Can you just talk about, what he brings just in terms of his size in games like this where you need to find a way?
Yeah, Sion, man, is just jack of all trades. He just he does everything for us. He really does. His rebounding was a huge strength. Him and Khan tied us for leading rebounds. His off-ball movement, his shot creation, being able to penetrate and kick, and he can score. But to get a guy in his fifth year who's been, he scored a lot of points at Tulane and all that, to not be about numbers, to just be about winning is unique. It's really hard to find, and Sion has that. Everybody that played, Malik, Sion, and Mason all have that at a high level.
Con, you had kind of a tough shooting night until you made those 2 threes there late in the second half. What were you feeling on those shots? I mean, did you have any hesitation at all? And what gave you the confidence to go ahead and take those shots?
No, I mean, Coach kept telling me to shoot it. Sometimes the shot is the shot, he said. And you just stay the
Say
course.
brilliant stuff.
Just stay in the course. Sometimes the shot's not going to go in, but just sticking with it and trusting yourself.
John, what did he show you with those shots? Because he had a tough shooting night against Kentucky as well. So
Yeah, just the mental toughness, and it's something you try to look for as much as you can in the recruiting process, and every coach wants it and, wants to find it, but some of that's from within, and then some of that you try to build and give them as much confidence as you can, but, both these guys, Tyrese had it going right away. For Khan and for Cooper, they didn't shoot the best in the first half. But if your competitiveness and your toughness is consistent, it's only a matter of time with these two guys. And I thought Khan really showed that for not having maybe, he's going to have better scoring games. Still he had 13. But he's a weapon on that end for sure.
How important is this game?
Cooper, when I asked Kevin Durant and Devin Booker about you, they were very complimentary of how you belonged in Vegas. How much does that mean to you to have the respect of those players, and how much did Vegas help prepare you for a season like this and a game like this?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I would say overall, that experience for me was something that I'm very grateful for and really blessed that I was able to go out there and compete with those guys. It's something that not everybody gets to do, like that experience of playing the players at the highest level. You don't see that everywhere. So just getting that opportunity to go out there and play and compete was really priceless to me, and I learned a lot from them, the way they carry themselves, the way they play, compete. So I just learned a lot from them, and just to hear that high praise is just, it means a lot to me.
What kind of momentum does this win give this team going into Vegas next week in the matchup against Kansas?
Yeah, I mean, it's big momentum. I'm coming off a big win. I think we got to get our minds right, get focused on the next one. We'll be happy about this one for maybe tonight, but then we'll move on to the next one for sure.
I was at the Arkansas game a year ago. You and Caleb obviously were involved in that. Was there anything that you talked about with your teammates in advance of this, particularly the young guys here, experiencing this? Anything that you drew personally from going through that insane environment, but that one was a loss, this one's obviously.
Just staying the course. That was the biggest thing I told these guys, especially early. They're going to come out and punch us, try and punch us straight away. And I thought we, handled that really well. And then, like I said before, second half was a big thing that, we struggled with last year and in the Kentucky game. So just coming out and staying disciplined and when it's not going the best, just huddling and bringing everyone in and making sure we're all on the same page. I think that's a really big thing.
I'll follow real quick. For either of you, when he hit the second three, did that feel like in real time, or John, if you want to take it, did that feel like the moment where it was like, okay, this really does feel like our night? Because that in the building, it felt like that was, if not a dagger, something close to it.
Go ahead. I mean, I can say, I think we've been watching Khan do that since the start of the summer. I mean, he's a big-time player, big-time scorer. He makes a lot of tough shots. He's been doing that since the start of the summer. So, we have a lot of confidence in him and what he can do. So, seeing that shot go in was nothing really new for me. Just get back on defense and just move on to the next play.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
both of you guys dealt with some cramping issues. I mean, how did that impact you both in this game?
Just gotta do a better job, take care of our bodies, but hydrate. Other than that, I feel like we're a deep team, so anybody come out, next man stepped up. I feel like Carter, Deli, and no job, they did a good job stepping in and, hitting big shots, making good plays down the stretch.
I mean, he said it to perfection. I mean, we just got to get a better job taking care of our bodies, but, we got a deep team, and, guys stepped up when their number was called.
For either of you, what was Duke doing as far as their half-court defense to keep you guys from being able to get the kind of flow we would normally see?
With the 5-ball screen, they were, hard hedge, make us get the ball out of our hands quick. 1 through 4, they would switch. And then anytime we got to switch and enter to the post, they would trap. I think we just got to do a better job moving out the ball, being stronger with the ball, and just, finding different ways to, be effective in the offense.
Yeah, he said it right on the money. They threw some different things at us. They're pretty athletic, 1 through 4, and 5-man is pretty, shot blocker down there. So we just got to do a good job recognizing the coverage and executing.
Do you think there's enough time between now and traveling to Bahamas to be able to work on things, or do you guys just play through this now with 3 games in 3 days?
No, it's definitely time to work on things. I'm pretty sure we're going to get together tomorrow as a group, watch some film, figure some things out, practice on Sunday, travel to the Bahamas. I mean, we still got to go to win the tournament. We just got to come together as a group and, be tighter than, we ever have been so far.
Players, to take a loss the way that this one went down, do you find it motivating and helpful to keep the memory of it? We're in the meat of the loss here, so I know it's fresh, but is this something you'll kind of draw on as you prepare, not just for the Bahamas, but Big 12's a loaded league? Or do you try and put it as far in the rearview mirror and not use it as a motivating factor throughout this?
We got to, use this to help us, bond as a team. We're only 4 games in. It's a long season, so we can't let this, discourage us. And you just got to come together tighter in these moments and really rely on our brothers, just playing hard and doing what Coach says. We had a great game plan. We just, on our end, we didn't execute. We let them score easy buckets. So, we're just going to continue to grow as a group.
KJ, what makes Cooper, when he's in that zone that he was in the second half, so difficult to kind of defend?
I mean, he's tall, athletic, can finish over, a lot of bodies. I don't know, he's just, super athletic. I feel like, we did a good job containing him in the first half. I think, we just went away from the game plan. And then, didn't communicate as a group, and, he found openings in our defense.
Yeah, he's, super talented freshman. Hats off to him. He just provides mismatch problems for them. We get a smaller guard on him. He can, take us inside and, use his strength, his height advantage. We get a bigger guy on him. He can play quick, play fast, and be able to shoot over the top or get by him. So we did a good job throwing stuff at him, but, hats off to him for, how he played in the second half.
You guys have a lot of new pieces. Some guys are in new roles. How do you kind of balance the idea of being patient and letting all of that develop with kind of seeing immediate results?
I think, just, the guys that have been here last year, trying to, get all the new guys on the same page and, get them to the standard of Arizona basketball. Again, it's a new atmosphere, new system for them. So, just from the coach down to, the vets, we just got to be better as a group to help them, and, help them fit right into, what we want to do.
Yeah, like he said, it's a long season. We're only 4 games in, and, Coach Lloyd's been here for a while, and the stuff he's done in the past has worked. So, we got to really buy into the system and, really just over these next couple of days bond and, really figure this thing out.
Does it feel different for you, particularly compared to last year, say after, 4 games last year, just because you do have a lot of different guys, rotation maybe not as settled as it was this month?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to be different, different team, different players, but, I love this group that we got, and I feel like, we're going through a little rough patch right now, but we got everything it takes, the right support, the right, members on our staff, the right players to figure this thing out and, turn it around.
Jaden, you mentioned you thought you guys had a good game plan coming into the night. The execution just wasn't there. What were some of the things you thought you could execute against Duke's defense that maybe didn't materialize the way you expected?
Just getting inside. I feel like first half we did a great job. Krivas, Tobe getting inside and picking up fouls. He got in foul trouble early. They had to sit him. They went small. We were able to, utilize that and play inside out. And then second half we didn't really, execute that as much. So, we just got to do a better job.
What Caleb has done in the last couple of games? Obviously, he's facing a lot of defense. Do you sense he's being frustrated at all, or handling it all right, or
No, I mean, Caleb's an All-American for a reason. He has ultra confidence, and we have ultra confidence in him. Again, it's only the 4th game of the year. We knew, any team we're going to play is going to throw different things at him, and it's our job to help him, get open looks and to find a rhythm. And, so far we haven't been doing that for him. So, I feel like me and JB, we take kind of most of the blame for his frustration because we got to do a better job of getting him open off the ball.
Appreciate it.
Great atmosphere. Just unfortunately, we didn't play the way we'd hoped to play. So a lot of credit goes to Duke. They played a great game, and they obviously have a great team and a great program. And it was an honor to play them here. And I wish it would have went a little better for us, but that's how it goes sometimes. So let's get this done.
Questions? You want to raise your hand? You spend a week ramping up for this, just in the immediacy of the loss. Tommy, what's the most frustrating part for you and the staff after what you saw transpire for 2 hours?
We obviously coming off another loss. So we had a week. Where there was a sense of urgency, and we felt like we were addressing things, and just to come out and we didn't play great. And so now we need to take a step back and figure out why. Are there some schematic problems? Are there, some problems with how our personnel is kind of put together? And those are the things we're going to take a look at. I love the guys. I like the plan, but obviously, when it's not going as well as you would like, you got to be honest with yourself and try to figure it out. So, we got to figure out what our certainties are, the things we have to have, and then, over the course of the next couple of days, if there's adjustments we need to make, we need to figure out what those are.
Jason in the back.
I know it might be too soon after the game to answer this, but offensive struggles tonight, how much of that was, you think, you guys versus what Duke was doing?
Probably a combination of both. I feel like we had some good looks in the first half that just, from good shooters that just didn't go in. But then, we wanted to try to get the ball inside. They did a good job keeping it out. And then when we kind of got it in there, I think their size and length impacted that a little bit. So, I thought Duke came out and played really physical and battled, and I was hoping that would be a little bit of an advantage for us, but it wasn't. So, we got to go back, and probably a little bit of it is, one of the answers always is, do what we do a little bit better, and we got to fight a little bit more, and then the next answer always has to be is like, don't be stubborn. If there's adjustments we need to make, let's figure those out.
KJ, when he was being interviewed, said that he felt like the second half of the offense kind of maybe got a little stagnant, that there could have been more movement from the guys out there on the court. Did you see that in terms of?
For sure. They did a good job kind of pressuring our bigs, and then kind of making our wing touches a little bit harder, and we've always been a program that's been pretty good in transition, and we got to get in transition a little bit more, and then when we get opportunities, we got to cash in on them. So that's something we've been working on. But you get into these games, and it's Maybe some of the decisions by the players haven't been, where I would hope they would be, playing on 2 feet, using a fake instead of going for all for nothing plays all the time. So, that stuff we'll continue to look at and see if we can get better.
Brian, go ahead.
Are you concerned at all about Caleb in maybe looking tentative at times when he had a shot and didn't take it?
I mean, listen, obviously we all know Caleb, has a well-documented story, and he's my guy. He's not playing great right now. I mean, I just got to be, 100% honest, and but it's my job to hang with him because, this isn't the NBA. There aren't trades. You're not releasing guys, and I know this. Caleb's had so much success in college basketball. If we hang with him, it's the right thing to do, and we'll be rewarded for that. So I'm going to hang with him and trust that, better days are coming.
Physicality in this game. So you almost hope that the memory of how physical Duke was lingers with your team into Big 12 because you're going to face more teams that can play as rough and tough as Duke was with you tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're built for it. I mean, that's how we want games to be. So I didn't think it was anything crazy. I think our guys just have to have a little more wherewithal and to find ways to take advantage of that. Our physicality.
Tommy, for you personally, does this feel just a weird place to be? Like you said, you felt things were coming back. You've never lost back-to-back. You never lost November until last week. And here you are.
Well, Bruce, I appreciate all the reminders. Things that have never happened here. That's great. Listen, Bruce, I'm humble enough to know that it's not always going to go easy. And I've always just felt for myself, the harder things get, the better. Because I think I'm built for it. And, I'm going to hang with my team. We're going to take a day off tomorrow. And, we're going to kind of circle the wagons, and we're going to find a way to go down to the Bahamas and win game by game. And wouldn't it be awesome if we flipped the script? And that's I'm a realistic optimist. I understand, we may not be perfect. There may be flaws. But I'm also optimistic that if we address them, that we can come out on the other side. And the great thing about college basketball is we're 2-2 in a long season. We haven't even played a conference game yet. And I'm not trying to diminish these 2 losses at all. I mean, they hurt. They hurt a lot. And, it was a tough week for me. And this is a tough night for me in the program because we had a great opportunity. But, we're going to bounce back, and we're going to, give Davidson everything we got. And then if we're fortunate enough to find a way to get through that one, the next opponent, we're going to give everything we got.
Anything else for Coach? Go ahead, Juan.
Jaden and KJ were a huge role tonight. How would you describe their performance? They were a good portion of the offensive production.
Listen, those dudes play incredibly hard. But what I got to figure out is, why the pieces aren't fitting together as well as I would like or as well as we're used to. And, it's nothing with those guys, but I'm definitely looking more at the bigger picture now than just on individual performances. Because to me, this is a team game. And, my thought, what I kind of wrote down on my notes today was TTE, total team effort. And I don't think we got that. So, I got to go back and really figure out, what it's going to take to get a total team effort.
You've already said that it wasn't the game that you guys wanted tonight, but just a spotlight, Duke, Arizona, the home-and-home series, is this something that you would potentially like to continue moving forward?
For sure, I would love it. And I think Jay Billis had the best quote of all. Just talking to him today, and obviously he's a great guy, and we know he's a Dookie, but he's also a great guy. And he told me, he wishes that college basketball had a little bit more of the NBA feel to it, where you play these big games and you win them or you lose them and you get on to the next one, and in college basketball, it's not like that. When we're a program like Duke or Arizona and you lose a game, I mean, it's, panic ensues, because, so for me, I love playing in this. I mean, I don't know how well I'll sleep tonight. Maybe good, maybe bad. I don't know. But I love the opportunity of playing Duke at home, and I wish, we had more opportunities to do this stuff, and we weren't so fearful of losing, because if you're fearful of losing, you're never going to take the opportunity for a great environment like we had tonight.
2 questions. The first one, Krivas looked a little uncomfortable tonight. I think the guys said they were doubling him a lot in the post. What did you see?
I'll have to go back and look at it. For first off, I think our stat keeper's got to get better here, because I probably jumped him at halftime a little bit, because in the halftime stat sheet it said he had 5 turnovers, and my staff informed me after the game he only had 2. So, that would be nice, because I'm going off the stat sheet they hand me. I'm not arguing with it. He's been practicing better, and we're kind of amping him up, and I might not have made the right decision today starting him. He's a starting level player, but he didn't play great. But Tobey's been playing so good, and Tobey not starting had nothing to do with him. It just has to me with trying to figure out how to play these 4 bigs, and I just think the combination of my overall overriding thought has been a Big Mo and Trey could be a good combo, and that Henry and Tobey could be a good combo. And then the game kind of got weird. I don't think there was sometimes these games happen. There's you have your first media time at under 16. But we had good refs today who were letting everybody play. And so, that the next thing you know, it goes to 13. We would have subbed 3 or 4 minutes earlier normally, and, you're kind of waiting. I didn't want to waste a timeout. So, I don't know. That's something I got to look at and really think about. Big Mo's a good player, and he's going to have a great season, but, he's still coming back from the injury, and I think this will be a great learning experience for him, and something for me to figure out.
The guys, you've said it, the other guys have said it, it's very early in the season, you're only 4 games into it, so you want to be patient, but you also want to see results. How do you kind of balance that?
There's no patience. It's a massive sense of urgency. Let's call it what it is. You ain't going to see me out on the town tonight. I got work to do. So let's get to work. You know what? And then, let's see where we're at in a month. And if we're still struggling, you know what I'll do? I still got work to do. But I'm going to get to it.
KJ mentioned the Arizona standard and maybe getting the newcomers up to that standard. Is that something that you find having to work on consistently?
Listen, everyone has a standard. And I'm not going to single out newcomers or returners. We all got to get better. There's no one. I told our guys that today. Not one person in our locker room is pointing a finger at someone else. Everyone's looking internally first, and then secondly, looking at the group. That's it. So, I don't think that at all.
Just following up on Mo, does that mean he's cleared fully as far as minute and limitations on him,
I think so, yeah.
And just to follow up, could you, you've never done it really, but start depending on the defensive matchups that you see or whatever?
Those are all things I got to figure out. I got to figure out what makes our players most comfortable and most effective. Because I probably didn't do Tobey a good service today, because I told him kind of before the game that I was thinking about doing this, and he was so agreeable. Because he's such a great dude. But he's been playing well. And so, maybe it wasn't tonight to do it, but, I was just thinking about pairing those bigs is my overriding thought. So I'll figure that out.
Well, I know it's not your personal history, but I was wondering if anybody's told you the last time this team went to the Bahamas and how that was kind of a rough deal.
I've heard a lot of stories about that. Hey, and Bruce, right now, come on. Let's go. We played Davidson. I don't know what time we play them on Wednesday. Let's just find a way to get a win. That's going to be the mindset. We're not looking at anything beyond that. We're back to the day-to-day deal. You knocked me off it a couple of days ago, but I'm back on day-to-day. Thanks, guys.